How's it going, everyone? This is Yxlarb, and welcome back to my Sonic Adventure 2 series, in what I believe is my 10th episode on the Chao feature alone, which is frankly incredible. There are only 12 episodes in the main campaign portion of this series, and this bonus series is almost as long as that, and we've still got a ways to go. In this episode, we're going to continue to tackle the Chao races, but before that, we need to touch on a feature which I've been waiting to address for a while now. It needed to just come up naturally on its own, and it's finally here. And that has to do with Chao breeding. Now we have to be pretty quick about this, so I'm just gonna get in there and show you what I'm talking about. So let's see. Seath over here. Yep, there it is. You see this? He just had a bunch of natural, beautiful flowers sprout right around him. What you need to do, and I'll just explain it more here soon, but right now we just need to kind of get a move on. Just place an adult Chao next to the Chao which is in its mating season. Oh! Absolute success. Oh, there you go. Okay, now let's, first of all, let's hatch our new egg. I just want to see our new friend here. Oh, how exciting. I'm so glad this happened. Whew. Let's see what you look like. Oh, it's always so... Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, yeah, cute little carrot smile. Gotta love that. This is our first one of this variety. That's really awesome. Actually, though, I'm not going to be keeping this one in here, and I'll explain in a second why. I'm going to go ahead and just move him or her to above us here in the Hero Garden. Don't worry, it's very peaceful, and you get to live forever. So you may have noticed that I was rushing there to get, Soluna to breed with Seath there. I of course wanted that to happen really quickly. I was concerned that it wouldn't end up working out, because it's possible for a Chao in its mating season to not breed at all. If all your other adult Chao are not interested in breeding with that Chao, then it's just not going to happen, and it's that simple. So I really wanted to make sure I got it on camera. I'm really glad it ended up working out, and now we have another new Chao, which is of course very good news. There's nothing bad about having more Chao. It's a nice, easy way, free way to get Chao instead of having to spend hundreds of rings in the black market. Unless of course you want a specific color Chao, then that's the route you would go. But here, pretty much outside of getting your four initial, normal colored Chao, for lack of a better term, the ones that you get from entering each garden for the first time, there's no other way to get those types of Chao outside of breeding. So they're not rare per se, but of course it's easier to just spend rings in the black market. So yeah. As you can see, the Chao Garden is kind of bustling about a little bit. So let's go ahead and discuss a few things. This here, let's start with you. This here is Aurora. She is the Chao which was born in the Dark Garden, and if it's not totally apparent, I'm trying to get her to evolve into a Dark Fly Chao, which is going to be great, just to get us some variety up in here. You might be wondering, why am I caring for more Chao these days? Why am I taking on such responsibility? Well, as I mentioned before, a Chao's lifetime takes a long time to sort of go by, to get to the point of reincarnation and everything like that. And of course, you spend time in the Chao Garden, to get time to pass by. There are a couple of approaches. One easy approach is just to leave the system on with a character in the garden, with the game unpaused, overnight, all day, whenever. But if you're in the mood to play with, the Chao feature, then you might as well just get more Chao in here and work on them, and do races with them, do karate tournaments with them, and just care for more Chao. It just gives you more to do in here, and it's very entertaining. Obviously, I'm very, very addicted to this gameplay, and I have been, for my entire last 15 years. So, what can I say? So, yeah, that explains Aurora. We'll see more progress on her as we go. Seath, he's a superstar. He allowed us to get our first glimpse of the breeding system in the game, which is great. You might be wondering why we didn't see either Soluna or Telfi's mating seasons. Well, Telfi, perhaps he had a mating season and I just didn't notice it. Maybe I was away from the game at the time. Soluna, I know, had a mating season. Unfortunately, unfortunately, it went away very quickly. I don't know how long she was in her mating season before I actually noticed. So, it's possible I just missed a good portion of it. I don't know exactly how long it lasts. I've seen it numerous times, but I don't know the science behind it. But here, in Seath's case, I noticed it immediately. So I was like, oh, shoot. Exit the game, and then come back and record, the next opportunity. So that's what I did. As you can see, though, Seath, he's still a powerhouse, but he's not bright green like he was before. He is definitely turning a shade of blue, which is a very good sign. Telfi here, who's asleep. Let's get to our main stars now, of course. You can tell the emotion dot is definitely a different color. It was kind of a pale pink purple last time we saw it. It turned full gray, and now it's a pale green, which is kind of what we're looking for here. So, yeah, Telfi's definitely on his way. He's got a lot more blue now as well. So, there you go. And Soluna is finally starting to look different. I knew my eyes weren't deceiving me. Her emotion dot is definitely more cyan now. And her stripes are more like a, I don't know, kind of like a lime-ish Mountain Dew green than like what they were before, which was kind of like an electric green, kind of like Electrike, the Pokemon. That's kind of what that color green reminded me of. But yeah, they're all really making their way, and it's really great. Of course, now we're going to discuss their levels. So as you can see here, I made quite a bit of progress since the last video, which I actually recorded earlier today. Today's the same day as I recorded episode 9. June 17th, just for reference. But Soluna here, making just great strides. I mean, excelling at running, of course, and stamina especially, and now much more competently leveled in the other stats. Of course, swimming is still Soluna's starkest weak point. Telfi, just so great at swimming, so great. Better at swimming, pretty much, than Soluna even is at running. As you can see here, he's just, what, 15, 17... like stat points below Soluna's running stat, but 4 levels less. I mean, give it another 4 levels, he's going to be over 1600 pretty much. So that's great. And then the other two, they are where they are. Now, I will say, I hope you guys like having more Chao kind of in the garden. It makes it a more lively place. Allows for more socialization and just more general content. Of course, the stars of the show are always going to be Soluna and Telfi. I want to make that very clear, but I think it's cool to have some other fresh faces and characters kind of making their way through. Now, of course, today we're going to be doing a few more races. Unfortunately, I don't think Soluna's quite ready for one of the races she's scheduled for today, so I'm going to have to do some off-screen leveling up. But in the meantime, let's just dive right into the challenge races. Now, as you've noticed, I've been kind of alternating between Soluna and Telfi in the events they partake in. However, I'm not going to do that today, and this is why. So this mission, I'm trying. You race against a bunch of Omochao, which is super funky, super crazy. They're not like, they're kind of weird. They're somewhat sentient, but they're clearly sewn together. They don't appear to be made of flesh at all. But as you can see here, the race isn't taking place on Diamond. It's taking place on Peridot. The jewel race track, which is of course nothing but running. And if we took Soluna here, we would absolutely demolish them without even trying. We wouldn't even have to use our stamina. We could trip probably 4 or 5 times and just absolutely destroy them. So I decided to make things more interesting. We'll have Telfi go back to back, and then instead just have Soluna take on both challenge races 4 and 5 instead. So let's go. Telfi, spotlight time for you. Okay, you Omochao. First, you annoyed the hell out of us throughout the entirety of the main campaign with your tutorial nonsense, constant spouting of tutorial-like substance, and now you think you can take on Telfi? Yeah, I know, Telfi's not the strongest runner of the bunch, but he can still mop the floor with you, I guarantee it. Or maybe not, because this is a pretty tight race, as you can see here. I mean, if we don't use stamina boosts, it's going to be pretty much a loss for us, though it looks like the Omochao like to fall, so that's a good sign. Hopefully we don't share that same trait. We know Telfi typically does, but maybe he's grown out of that. Who knows? Oh god, I shouldn't have said anything. Okay, well that one just fell. Maybe we'll have decent luck. Maybe the two in front will also fall over. Yeah, we have stamina boost, but pretty much all that does is just make this more of an even race. It doesn't really give us a stark advantage, I'd say. Wow, they're just falling all over the place. Are they particularly clumsy or something? These two in front, I have a feeling I'm just gonna, have to deal with the entire race. They're just gonna be putting me in fear of losing this whole time. Let's do a little more boost. Almost seems like we're catching up to them. Maybe it's just the depth perception of some of these camera angles, some of these epic security camera angles. I don't know. I don't think I'm crazy. It looks like I'm pretty close to them. I think we can make this into a W. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Take that nice racing line. Boost. Oh, so they can't cut you off. Oh, taking that apex. And we still have one more solid boost to use at the end. As long as we don't fall down a pit, we're solid. Come on, Telfie. Where's your luck? Oh, that's some good luck. That's some good luck right there, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, congratulations, Telfie. That's amazing. As you can see there, it looks like his two front, feather quill things on his head are growing a little bit bigger too. He more than the other Chao is exemplifying his growth into an adult. In fact, actually, he and Soluna are both officially 2 years old. So they are over 40% of the way to their reincarnation, which is just great, There's actually one last thing I want to discuss regarding the breeding in this game. So I mentioned this, I think, at the very beginning somewhere during the foundational episodes, and that is that a Chao that's bred, via the mating season, will randomly obtain its parents' stats. So I just wanted to take a look. Okay, it's very clear what happened here. So Seath has a rank C in everything except for, I think, a D in power. And then, of course, that pretty much tells you right here. It looks like, in fact, let me just pull up my specs. Okay, so it looks like Soluna had a C in swimming, and so does Seath. So that explains that. And then Soluna has a B in flying and an A in running. Also, Soluna has a C in power. So that's probably where that came from. And then Soluna has a B in stamina. So looks like this Chao got Seath stamina. So, but that's a pretty good spread, honestly. I mean, if you took a look at Aurora's stats right now, I believe she has a C in swimming, an A in flying, soon to be an S when she evolves, a B in running, a D in power, and an E in stamina. So pretty much, this is just a theory of mine. I haven't looked at anywhere near enough Chao grades and done the math to kind of figure it out. But I think generally speaking, the Chao are... Oh, perfect, Chao fruit. The Chao, when they're born, obviously a bred Chao is different, but when you have a new Chao that you buy either from the black market or you get directly from one of the Chao Gardens when you first walk into one or something, they'll have roughly even stats. For example, if they have an A, they might have an E to kind of balance that out, or they might have like all C's, or all C's and a D, or 3 C's, 3 C's, a B, and a D, or something like that, just to kind of balance it all out. Again, I'm not entirely certain, but I'm just, putting that out there. And here are Soluna's stats after that set of 5 Chao fruit. Hopefully that's enough. Of course, what I'm referring to is the next Dark Race number 3. Soluna, she's really coming out into her own. It's really, really going well. Of course, this battle is against the Flying Angel. The gimmick here is that we're going against Hero Chao, which have various animal parts on them, with of course a focus on their wings. So as we can see here, we got some phoenix wings out there. We got some unicorn horns. Looks like maybe some dragon wings back there. Not as easy to tell, but anyway, yeah, that's their deal. This track that we're on, I'm forgetting the name, Topaz. This is primarily flying, with of course a focus on swimming as well. Now, one thing to note, as you can see here, Soluna, first of all, has a ton of stamina. The orange bar is full, and it has rolled over into a yellow bar, which is now filling up on its own. And yeah, that was one thing to notice. The other thing to note is that Soluna's running is now at such a high level that she's gone beyond sprinting. She is now at the point where she imitates Sonic. So it's kind of hard to tell from these angles, but you'll be able to tell here in a second. So she puts her arms to her side and kind of at her back in the same way Sonic does when he's running at his fastest. And that's just such a cool detail. See this? That's so awesome. Yeah, she really is a proficient runner. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to go ahead and use a bunch of stamina here. Want to make sure that we're ahead of them before we get to the water. Don't want to get blocked off once we're in the water. But our flying, our flying really isn't that bad. In fact, it's a grade B, which I even forgot about until, just recently. I was like, oh, hey, actually, it's just that your level was low. Swimming, though, just bad. It might be a C, but also, combine the, mediocre grade or rank with the fact that it's, her lowest level, and it just, comes out to just be terrible, like this right here. They're just so close to me right now. But it looks like those Chao fruit were just enough. I was pretty close to beating them before, but, just the swimming, they would just take me out, and just take me to the cleaners. Here, we're good. Especially since none of them can run like Sonic. Aha, all I had to do was just put my arms to my side, and then I just went faster. What do you think? Oh, there we go. I was a little concerned that we wouldn't make it through and I would have to redo that. But wow, actually, that was the first race in a long time. It feels like I didn't have to redo it. Well, actually, I guess the only Chao race we didn't have to redo either. I'm just thinking back to my practice rounds where I had to try 3 or 4 times because Telfie kept falling over. But what do you expect? That's what happens with Telfie. The last race of the video is going to be hero race number 3. We're going back to Telfie to end this one off for us. I think he's competently leveled for this. New battle, Death Troops. The gimmick here, of course, as you can probably tell, we got Dark Chao, all wearing skull hats. Well, calling them hats is it's a little misleading. They're actual skulls that they found in the ground in the Dark Garden. But I think we can take them out. Now, one thing to keep in mind. So, first of all, this is Garnet. This track focuses on power, which of course isn't one of Telfie's strengths. And another thing, these Chao behind us, they're all sprinting. Actually, it looked like there was a dark run Chao back there. Oh no, I think that's a dark swim, but that's okay. Anyway, our power is better now than it was before this event began, but it's still just average. As you can see, they're all keeping up with me, and some of them are even gonna nudge just ahead of me before we know it. But yeah, I mean, we of course have stamina boost, which is pretty much the only way we're gonna get through this with any chance. Where are we going? Oh, I didn't even see that tree back there. Thought this camera angle couldn't even be bothered to show us all 8 trees at once. Come on. Again, though, these power tests are really putting us at a disadvantage. And here we go, though. Here we go. Where are we? Oh, I was gonna say we're doing pretty well. I'd say we just need to be ahead of this guy. Hopefully we don't get blocked. I'm gonna wait for a good opportunity to boost. I think this is it. Let's use all this boost here, and then hopefully we can just stay ahead enough on the wall. That way when we get to the top, we can just basically boost our way to the finish line. This is, honestly, I feel like, I don't know. Power is usually one of the stats I take care of last, often because the best power animals are found in missions I don't care for that much, whereas running ones are probably the most common, running and normal types. So that's usually why it goes that way. But here, we managed to make it through. Good job, Telfie. Wow, this was the smoothest episode so far in terms of race success. No repeats, if my memory serves me correctly. I've been sitting here recording for over 40 minutes now. But no repeats on any of the races. We got a brand new Chao, courtesy of Seath and Soluna. A couple of notes on that, actually. I know there's always something else to say about breeding, but I just wanted to set some ground rules. So actually, first of all, oh, look at them. They're both flying. That's cool. First note, I'm not going to be taking care of one new Chao. I'm not going to be taking care of more than one new Chao at a time. So like right now, pretty much until Aurora evolves, I'm not even going to consider bringing, Soluna's baby into this garden. So that's just one point. That doesn't really have to do with breeding. The next point does. It doesn't actually have an effect on the game. I want to make this very clear. Crossbreeding doesn't have any effect on the game. You can have, Soluna and Seath make a baby, then you can have Soluna and Seath make another baby, and then have their 2 babies breed, and there would not be anything technically wrong with them, gameplay-wise. But that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't want, these Chao to be treated like gerbils who are just going to, breed with one another and their siblings just constantly for the rest of their lives until they die. I don't want that. It's a little icky. I know. I might be making a bit too much of this, but that's just how I feel. So I'm pretty much just going to be keeping track of whose, child can mate with who? You know, I'm just gonna make sure there's no crossbreeding there. I want to keep I don't want to keep the bloodlines totally pure. I want to get some diversity in there. You know, avoid those genetic defects and gain some immunities to or resistances. Oh hey, another flyer to some diseases. It's kind of funny seeing Aurora fly like a master and then only be able to crawl. It's kind of funny. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today on this adventure. It was a very, thrilling episode. Of course, because we didn't have to lose or retry any races. But then also we got to see, all of our Chao getting to change a little bit. They're growing up quick. I mean, especially Seek here. I mean, he's just 1 year old and he's already a father. Oh, wow, that's a lot of responsibility for this little guy. I don't know if he's ready. I think that's a sign to my to my brother Andy in real life. he recently got married, in May. So yeah, man, this is a sign. It looks like you're ready for fatherhood. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode.